I lost my eyesight in both eyes while trying to save Justin. Under pressure, he agreed to marry me. On our wedding day, a girl fainted when we were exchanging rings. My groom threw away the ring, picked up the girl anxiously, and left, leaving me, the blind bride, alone to face all the guests. He said that although I had lost my eyesight, he had also lost the freedom to love someone. What a freedom it was! However, after I set him free, he searched for me all over the world. All along, I've mistaken the person. Originally, I was supposed to marry her that day. Justin was unwilling to marry me. He just had to deal with it for a long time because of the pressure from his family and couldn't refuse easily. Our marriage plan was essentially just a mutually beneficial cooperation. Only I secretly liked him unilaterally. That day, he said, we shouldn't be tied together. I don't want to be in such a difficult situation in the future. I didn't want him to be in a difficult situation either, so I smiled and agreed that the marriage contract didn't count. But when a car accident suddenly happened on the road, I still instinctively threw myself at him. The flying fragments of the car window cut my eyes. Since then, I've been plunged into endless darkness. Today is the second week since I lost my eyesight. I've cried and made a fuss, and then I became as silent as death. At first, Justin would hold me when I broke down, for a very long time. Ariana, it will get better. I'll find the best doctor for you. Later, when there were only the two of us in the ward, he stood there and asked me with a difficult tone, why did you save me? Not only my eyes, but also my whole body suffered more serious injuries than him in order to protect him in that situation. I couldn't see his expression, but I could clearly sense his dilemma. He was in a dilemma because he would owe me from then on. I don't know how long he stood there. It was so long that my hands hugging my knees began to go numb. Then he slowly said, Ariana, let's get married. I raised my head and forced a smile in the empty darkness. Justin, you don't want to marry me. I hadn't spoken for a long time, so my voice was hoarse and unpleasant when I opened my mouth. He took 2 steps forward and sat on the edge of my bed. A few seconds later, he held my hand. Don't think too much. I pulled my hand back. Justin, you blame me in your heart, don't you? Blame me for tying you down with my eyes. The long silence was his answer. I was just about to ask him to leave and tell him that I didn't need such pity. But he said, I saw the wedding dress you posted on your WeChat moments. I've bought it for you. When you're discharged from the hospital, can I take you to try it on? At this moment, something in my mind collapsed with a bang. The appearance of that wedding dress seemed to emerge in front of my eyes, so holy and beautiful. I had fantasized countless times that I could wear that wedding dress and marry Justin, until Justin held the wedding dress in front of me and put my hand on it. It was as fluffy and soft as a cloud. Then I didn't care about anything else. The wedding came so hastily and yet seemed so inevitable. Some people joked that the young master of the Justin family was really affectionate. Since the daughter of the Ariana family was blind, he even advanced the wedding schedule instead. Others said that he had no choice but to marry her because of the kindness she had shown him. I tried hard to pretend that I didn't care, but my hands hidden in the skirt of my dress were trembling secretly. Justin put the veil on for me. Behind me, he described my appearance today to me, from my hair to my skirt. I couldn't see anything, but I could tell that he was absent-minded. I asked him, do you regret it? His hands paused for a moment, and he just said faintly, it's almost time to enter. Justin held my hand and walked up the steps with me, walking very slowly to match my pace. Although I couldn't see, I could feel the petals floating in the air and could imagine Justin's handsome appearance in a suit that matched mine. At this moment, I could even put aside the fact that he didn't love me and truly felt happy. If this was a dream, then let it go slower, even slower. I thought that after marrying him, I would ask him if he still remembered that we had known each other many years ago. Then I would tell him that actually, I had secretly liked him for many years. When Justin was about to put the ring on for me, his actions suddenly froze. Then a girl's crying voice came from not far away. Justin. I subconsciously held his hand, and uneasiness began to rise in my heart. But with a louder sound of something falling to the ground, the crowd became restless. Probably they were saying that the girl had fainted. She rolled down the steps we had just walked up. Justin shook off my hand. He ran very fast, and his footsteps proved how anxious he was at that moment. I stretched out my hands helplessly, unable to touch anything or see anything. The chill gradually filled my heart. When Justin left with the girl in his arms, he didn't even have time to say sorry to me. So, he already had someone he loved deeply. He loved her so much that he could ignore the worldly views. He loved her so much that he could abandon me, the blind bride, without hesitation. Because of the shock, I was hospitalized again. My parents said to me with heartache that they would never force me to get married again. However, wasn't it all my own doing? I had always been indulging in my delusions. In the evening, the phone rang. I knew it was Justin calling because his calls had a special ringtone. But when I answered it, it was a girl's voice. She said, "Senior Ariana, I'm Maisie. We were in the same school in high school, and we were good friends. Do you remember me? It's a pity that we haven't been in touch since graduation." For quite a while, I couldn't say a word. This was Justin's phone. And the one who was calling was Maisie. She was the girl that Justin took away at our wedding. Seeing that I didn't say anything, the voice on the other side seemed to become cautious. "Senior Ariana, I'm sorry. I know that I shouldn't have interrupted your wedding. But I couldn't control myself. I can't let Justin go to you. Obviously, we are the ones." I couldn't hear clearly what she said later. I just felt my heart aching again and again. I curled up into a ball. In high school, Maisie was one grade below me and was a very enthusiastic girl. In the past, when others thought that I was not easy to approach, she was always willing to accompany me. So at that time, she knew all about my thoughts and my secret love. But I didn't know that she and Justin. And now she came to tell me that even if I married Justin, I was still the third party. It turned out that when I had liked Justin a long time ago, he also liked her, from high school until now. Many days passed, and the storm of public opinion gradually subsided. Then Justin came to find me. In the hall, everyone refused to let him see me. My father slapped him. "How dare you come to see my daughter? There are so many people who like our Ariana. Only with you did she lose her eyesight and was even jilted by you in public." Justin's father accompanied him with an apologetic smile, claiming that he had already educated Justin well and that there would definitely be no breaking off the engagement. "Ariana has been wronged. This kid Justin deserved to be slapped and should also apologize properly. Except for Ariana, our Justin family will never recognize any other woman." From beginning to end, Justin didn't say a word. Until I opened the door, the air suddenly became quiet. Justin called my name softly. I sent everyone away and groped my way towards him step by step. The moment he reached out to support me, I shook off his hand as if I had been electrocuted. I wouldn't forget how he threw away the ring and how he fled the wedding with another girl in his arms. I thought he came to make up for an apology. But after a long silence, he just said casually, "Ariana, I'll marry you." This sentence completely shattered the last bit of self-esteem that I had been struggling to hold on to. "Justin, have you ever felt guilty towards me? Or have you always thought that I was the one who was making things difficult for you from the beginning to the end?" Neither marrying him nor his apology, when he came to my door, was out of his genuine guilt. Now, he could still say that he would marry me. It made me look like the most pitiful and pathetic person in the world. "Ariana, we are making things difficult for each other," he said. "You lost your eyes because of me, and I also lost the freedom to love someone." When I heard this, my secret love for Justin over the years was completely shattered. What a freedom to love someone. I laughed so hard that I covered my face, and tears spilled out through my fingers. "Justin, I won't marry you anymore. Wish you freedom." The marriage contract was cancelled at my unilateral request. Before long, Justin found an authoritative ophthalmologist abroad for me and said that he would cure my eyes. I knew that he just didn't want to be tied down by my life-saving favor and didn't want to have any more connections with me. Although I was sometimes emotionally unstable, as he wished, I would cooperate well with the doctor's treatment. Later, I learned that this doctor was Justin's classmate when he studied abroad. His name was Ryan. He was very young but already a leading figure in the ophthalmology field. He wouldn't tell me directly whether there was still a possibility for my eyes to recover. He just examined me day after day and advised me to adjust my mindset. Dr. Ryan would also talk to me about Justin. He asked me about Miss Ariana again yesterday. I remained silent. Actually, he has always been concerned about your situation. He also told me that you two were originally considered bosom friends. Bosom friends? I smiled faintly. At that time, there was no intention of an alliance between us. I saw Justin in my father's business field. At just one glance, I recognized him. He was the person who had appeared in my youth, disappeared completely, and whom I had secretly loved for many years. Later, our work intersections became more frequent, and we gradually got to know each other better. He once said that he had a very special feeling for me. He said that I always understood his thoughts very well. I was almost about to confess my secret love for him over the years. Until the two groups started talking about the intention of an alliance. My parents said that Justin and I looked like a perfect match. At that time, I thought that I should tell Justin my secret. But I didn't expect that after learning about the marriage alliance, Justin seemed to become a different person. He said coldly that I had misunderstood and that he only regarded me as a friend. Now I understand that he didn't forget the past. Instead, he had never remembered me in the past. As days passed by, my eyes showed no improvement at all. My best friend Alea took me to her coffee shop and put a cat on my lap. The cat was so cute and kept rubbing against me. I rarely showed a smile. I told Alea to go and do her own things and not to worry about me. The more people watched over me every step of the way, the more useless I felt. After Alea walked away, an unexpected visitor came and sat opposite me. She greeted the waiter, "A cup of the same coffee as this lady's, please." Her voice was full of energy, which was just the opposite of mine. "Senior Ariana, do you remember me?" "Oh, sorry. I forgot that you can't see." My hands trembled a little. "I'm Maisie. We talked on the phone. Long time no see." I smiled and said, "Yes, it's been a long time." She said, "Senior, you're not still angry about what happened between me and Justin, are you?" I shook my head. "There's nothing to be angry about. I just feel that I was stupid." Heh. She chuckled softly. "Then why does the senior still have contact with him?" I frowned. "What do you want to say?" She said, "Justin is still quite concerned about your eyes. You can go and tell him that I don't need his concern." After saying that, I didn't want to communicate with her anymore and got up to find Alea. Maisie came forward to hold my hand. I subconsciously pulled my hand away, and she fell to the ground with an "ah." Although I couldn't see, I knew what had happened. I was just curious how a person's face could change so quickly. She used to be a good friend of mine, but she got involved with Justin without a word. Now she came to provoke me because of Justin. Which side of her was real and which was fake? Then Justin came running from somewhere. I was quite speechless. For such a cliched plot, I didn't even have the desire to explain. Justin asked her what was wrong. Maisie looked so aggrieved. I saw the senior was here alone and was worried about her eyes, so I came to show my concern. The senior might still be angry with me and pushed me in a moment of excitement. "It's okay." Justin called my name, and I couldn't tell whether he was angry or happy. "Ariana, you," I said, "both of you, can you stay away from me? I'm a blind person. There's no need to put on an act for me." Justin helped Maisie up and said to me, "Maisie is innocent. If you're angry, you can take it out on me." I was so angry that I laughed. What a loving couple. "Master Justin, come and see how innocent your Maisie is." Alea walked over. "Here is the surveillance video replay from just now in the store. Please enjoy it." The surveillance video roughly showed how Maisie was pushed down by me. Justin was speechless for a long time after watching it. Maisie was so flustered as she was exposed right after her act. Justin, it was my mistake. I didn't stand firmly myself. She probably thought that I wouldn't let go easily. At this moment, she should feel even less secure. Maisie, apologize to Miss Ariana, Justin said. Maisie probably had an incredulous expression at this moment and hesitated, unwilling to speak. I curled my lips sarcastically. No need. Just don't show up in front of me in the future. Otherwise, I might really do what she wants and take action. 11 Justin and I finally reached such an embarrassing situation. When Ryan examined my eyes, my mood was as calm as a still lake. Miss Ariana, don't be too pessimistic. If there is a suitable cornea transplant, the possibility of recovering your eyesight is quite high. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. Didn't I know that many people who lost their eyesight like me couldn't wait for the chance to recover their eyesight all their lives? Ryan had probably seen too many people like me, so he knew very well how to take care of patients' emotions and never showed any pity towards me. I groped and opened the piano in front of the window. I hadn't touched it since I lost my sight. I touched the keys and played a piece of music by relying on the memory of my fingers. I made several wrong notes. Bach's Minuet. I once heard it on the streets of Germany. Compared to that, Miss Ariana's piano sound is more beautiful. Ryan came behind me without my knowing. I smiled slightly. Once upon a time, there was also a person who didn't hesitate to praise me even though I made a lot of mistakes when playing the piano. In my senior year of high school, when I started to like the piano, I could only play a few simplest pieces. After playing Little Ariana, the boy outside the window held his chin and smiled brightly. This classmate, you play the piano quite well. He was my only audience, Justin. The discussions about him on campus had always been heated. He was good-looking and came from a wealthy family, but few people dared to approach him. According to rumors, he fought, smoked, and even collected protection money. Only I saw that he threw the protection money he had retrieved back to a skinny kid. TSK, someone even stole such a small amount of money. He fought to teach a few hooligans who abused cats a lesson, but he never explained. 12 Smoking was indeed true. I said to him, Justin, smoking is not good. As soon as he saw me, he put out the cigarette. Why, do you know who I am? Is my reputation that famous? I nodded. I know. And you? What's your name? This wasn't the first time he had asked my name. When I caught him collecting protection money, he also asked me, Hey, what's your name? I still didn't tell him. At that time, during the epidemic, I always wore a mask in front of him. As long as I hid in the crowd, he couldn't find me. Because at that time, the rumors about the name Ariana in school were even more unpleasant than those about Justin. I didn't want to expose myself. The more curious he was, the more I wanted to escape. It wasn't until one time when I heard the noise of a fight on the rooftop. I saw that Justin was at a disadvantage, so I rushed forward without hesitation and stood in front of him. A blunt stick hit my back, and the pain made my tears flow freely. Instantly, Justin became like an enraged lion and took care of everyone in just a few moves. He held me in his arms in panic. I had never seen such an expression on his face before. He didn't dare to touch my wound. He wanted to take off my mask but was stopped by me. I'm allergic. I look ugly. Of course, it was just an excuse. I still didn't dare to let him recognize me. Justin cursed and said, At a time like this, you're still thinking about that. He carried me to the infirmary, only to find that there was not only a bruise on my back from the stick but also a cut by something. The doctor said that it might leave a scar. When I was getting stitches, I grasped his arm. He was shaking even more than I was. 12:10 After that, he suddenly said to me with self-mockery, So what they said is true. Bad luck will come to those who get close to me. At that moment, I felt extremely sorry for Justin. Rumors are terrifying. I knew it better than he did, and I was also more deeply trapped in them than he was. Later, Justin also started to avoid me. For a long time, we didn't have any intersections again. The last time I saw Justin when we were teenagers was also in the piano room where we first met. By then, I could play many pieces of music. And he suddenly showed up and asked me if I could play Little Ariana for him again. I agreed. This time, I didn't make any mistakes while playing, but my fingers were trembling slightly. He praised me for making great progress. Probably because we were about to graduate, I suddenly summoned up the courage and said to him that after the college entrance examination, I would tell him everything about me. Justin smiled and tapped my forehead, saying, "Okay." But later, he suddenly disappeared. Without any warning, he abandoned my promise to him and completely disappeared from my world. Later, even the hairpin that he had casually given me was lost by me. It was as if he had never been by my side. But secretly, I had liked him for many years. It wasn't until 5 years later that I saw him again in the business field. His appearance hadn't changed much. He was just even more handsome and outstanding. However, his eyes were no longer as high-spirited as they were back then. Introduced by the elders, he shook hands with me politely and distantly. "Hello, Miss Ariana." He finally knew my name, but he didn't know that I was the coward back then. Or rather, he didn't remember that coward anymore. 14 memories, once I got caught up in them, were like silk being unwound thread by thread, and it was hard to break free. When I came back to my senses again, my face was already covered with tears. Ryan stood silently behind me for a long time. Seeing that I was wiping my tears, he handed me a tissue and said gently, "Miss Ariana, cry less in the future. Don't hurt your eyes." My eyelashes trembled. "Dr. Ryan, can you call me by my name?" I didn't like being called Miss Ariana anymore. Whether it was when I first met Justin 5 years later and he called me Miss Ariana in a distant way. Or when Maisie slandered me for pushing her, and Justin protected her, calling her Maisie and me Miss Ariana. Ryan was stunned for a moment and then patted my shoulder comfortingly. "Okay, Ariana." The next day, I said that I didn't want to have an examination. Unexpectedly, Ryan made an exception and agreed. He also took me out for a drive. He said, "Relax more and keep in a good mood. It can also be regarded as a kind of treatment." I stepped on the beach and felt the gentle touch of the sea waves on my ankles. Ryan followed me carefully. When I heard others talking about me, I wasn't too sensitive anymore. On the way back, Ryan suddenly stopped the car. After a while, he said with hesitation in his tone, "It seems to be Justin." I pursed my lips and said, "Dr. Ryan, please take me back first. He's alone outside and seems to be drunk." Ryan said, "I'll take him with me. He tends to do stupid things when drunk." I didn't say anything more. There was something wrong with the seat belt in the front seat, so Ryan helped Justin to the back seat. He sat next to me, reeking of alcohol and with a blurred consciousness. This guy seldom gets drunk like this. "Ariana, please bear with it. I'll take him back right away." When the car turned a corner, Justin fell onto me. I pushed him, and his head hit the car window. "Ariana." In a daze, he called my name. For a moment, it was eerily quiet in the car. 15 Finally, we arrived at Justin's home. Ryan helped him out of the car. I didn't expect that Maisie was also there. She shouted in disbelief, "Ariana? Why are you with Justin?" I didn't want to pay attention to her and just wanted to leave quickly. However, Justin's mother came up to me. "Is it Ariana? You sent Justin back? Come on, come in and sit with Auntie for a while." I tried hard to force a smile. "Auntie, since there are other guests here, I don't want to disturb you." Justin's mother quickly grabbed my hand. "What guests?" "Miss Maisie came here uninvited and insisted on waiting here. I didn't want to entertain her at all. Auntie hasn't seen Ariana for a long time. Come in and let Auntie have a look. Are you feeling better?" Justin's parents felt guilty towards me, so they cared about me especially. When passing by Maisie, although I couldn't see, I could sense the strong jealousy and resentment around her. "Miss Maisie, please go back," Justin's mother said coldly. "I want to see Justin." Maisie looked so aggrieved. At this time, Justin mumbled in a daze, "Ariana." Everyone was stunned. He was drunk. Why was he calling my name? Justin's mother was the first to react. She happily patted my hand and said, "Our Justin has been thinking about Ariana all the time." These words were probably meant for Maisie to hear. 16, so it was within my expectation that Maisie tried every means to come to see me alone later. I was walking my dog and trying to take a walk in the community garden by myself. Maisie came towards me. "Senior, here are the flowers I bought for you." She stuffed a bunch of flowers into my arms. "Although you can't see, at least you can smell them." The thorns of the roses pricked my hand. I frowned and threw the flowers aside. "Miss Maisie, just say what you want to say directly. I don't have time to beat around the bush with you." Maisie sneered. "Senior, I told you not to have any contact with Justin anymore. Why don't you listen? Do you think you can cling to him just because of your eyes? No matter how beautiful you are or how wealthy your family is, you're just a blind person now. Are you worthy of him?" There was probably no one around, so Maisie finally showed her true nature. I clenched the leash in my hand. "In that case, Miss Maisie, just have more confidence in yourself." I didn't want to stay with her any longer, but she blocked my way. "Of course I have confidence." Then, Maisie's voice suddenly became quieter, almost close to my ear. "But Senior, I'm afraid that you're just like your mother, good at seducing men." My heart sank, and I almost immediately waved my hand and slapped her. I slapped her accurately and hard. She didn't get angry. Instead, she laughed. "Sorry, Senior. After all, everyone knew what kind of person you were back in high school." I knew that she was deliberately trying to irritate me, but I still couldn't help shaking with anger. 17. My parents have a remarried family. In my senior year of high school, my mother took me and married my current father. My father was already a well-known entrepreneur at that time, with a wealthy family, and he was very kind to both my mother and me. Mom got pregnant not long after that. Due to her advanced age for childbearing, she went abroad with Dad to take care of the pregnancy. While I was preparing for the exams alone in China, I was slandered by an anonymous campus post. A well-known entrepreneur became widowed, and his second wife was actually a mistress, destroying the original family. Ariana is the daughter of a mistress. How did the mother and daughter use their looks to climb up the social ladder step by step? The rumors grew like a snowball. Whether I told the teachers or called the police, I didn't get effective handling. Afraid of affecting Mom's pregnancy care, I didn't tell my family about it. I thought that after graduation, all the rumors would fade away. Gradually, I became self-abased and sensitive. So when I met Justin later, I still couldn't tell him my name. I was afraid that he would be the same as others. After so many years, Maisie's appearance ripped open my old wounds again, making them bloody. "Senior, remember it now?" Sure enough, the whole family are bitches. The mother became a mistress to climb up, and the daughter came to seduce other people's boyfriends. "Shut up." Finally, I couldn't suppress my anger and pushed her hard in the direction of her voice. 18. Maisie rolled down the steps and broke her leg. She had suffered a loss in the last surveillance video, so she made good use of this surveillance this time. The surveillance had no sound and only captured how she kindly brought me flowers, how I threw them away, how she got slapped by me, and how I pushed her down the steps. The post from back then was dug out again and became a hot topic on the internet. When Maisie was interviewed in the hospital, her voice was weak and feeble. I went to apologize to her, hoping that she wouldn't blame Justin. I didn't expect that she hated me so much. Ryan turned off the video and said to me, "Don't listen to it anymore." I asked him, "Dr. Ryan, do you believe her? Or rather, do you believe that post?" Ryan laughed and said, "I believe you." It was so nice that there was still someone who believed me. When Justin came to me, I didn't have any emotional fluctuations. He asked me, "Ariana, what happened?" I looked up and said sarcastically, "What happened? Didn't Maisie tell you everything?" "Justin, I told you that if she provoked me again, I would really take action." Hearing this, Justin raised his voice, "Ariana, you've gone too far." Ryan interrupted him, "Ariana can't see." It wasn't on purpose. I raised my eyebrows. No, I did it on purpose. Justin, Maisie wants me to apologize, right? Next, tell her to wait. I'll do as she wishes. Does she think that I'm still the coward who was afraid of rumors back then? 19. While Maisie was manipulating public opinion and putting me at the center of the storm on the internet, I had already collected all the evidence and talked to the best lawyer. Before suing Maisie, I asked Justin to take me to the hospital to see her. In the car, Justin said to me with a complicated tone, "You, just apologize, and I'll handle things on her side." I was actually a bit surprised. I thought Justin would break with me because of Maisie. When we arrived at the hospital, many reporters suddenly rushed out. "Miss Ariana, did you come to the hospital to apologize to Miss Maisie? Excuse me, is the post on the internet true? Miss Maisie's injury." Justin put his arm around me and quickly avoided the crowd. In the elevator, I quietly distanced myself from him. "Justin, do you also want to know the answers to the questions they asked?" He didn't say anything more. When Maisie saw me, she became extremely excited. She cried and shouted, "Justin, I don't want to see her." I smiled and said, "Oh? Aren't you waiting for me?" "Waiting for me to bow my head to you and beg for your forgiveness." She calmed down. "Miss Ariana, at this point, there's no need for you to be hypocritical." I nodded. "Yes, then I won't be polite to you." "Maisie, when you were creating public opinion, you said that you went to show concern for me and apologize to me at that time, and you didn't expect that I would take action, right?" She was stunned for a moment, and then she played the victim to Justin. "Justin, it was really her who took action. She knew that the surveillance was on her side." However, after I realized that she was deliberately trying to irritate me, I had quietly turned on the recording. I clicked on the recording. "Blind person, are you worthy of him? The whole family are bitches." The mother became a mistress to climb up, and the daughter came to seduce other people's boyfriends. 20. Maisie's mean and vicious voice was extremely clear. Suddenly, the ward fell into an eerie silence. "Maisie, is this your way of showing concern for me?" Maisie trembled and called Justin. "Justin?" I didn't. At this moment, I really wanted to see what kind of expression Justin had. Then, Maisie said through gritted teeth, "So what? Am I wrong? Didn't you cause my leg injury?" I said, "Whether it's wrong or not, I'll tell you next." "Justin, do you think I should apologize?" Justin suppressed his emotions and came forward to hold my hand. "Let me take you back first." Behind us, Maisie cried heartbreakingly, "Justin, don't go with her. Don't leave me." On the way, Justin didn't say another word. It wasn't until he sent me home that he opened his mouth. "Ariana, what do you want to do next?" I asked. "What? Are you still going to protect her?" He smiled bitterly. "Take good care of yourself." After he left, I stood alone at the door for a long time. Until the wind became cool and woke me up. I informed the lawyer and officially sued Maisie. Before this, I hadn't found the person who anonymously posted rumors about me back then. It wasn't until Maisie's matter and the post from back then became hot topics on the internet together. Then I followed her clue and found out that the person who posted the rumors back then was her, Maisie. Back then, she was friendly with me on the one hand and spread rumors behind my back on the other hand. Now she has gone from bad to worse again, and I can't let her off. Soon, a lawsuit was filed heavily on top of the rumors. After releasing the complete recording at that time, I asked someone to conduct an appraisal of Maisie's injury. Her leg wasn't broken. There was only a very minor skin injury. She insisted on staying in the hospital, saying that she couldn't bear the pain and there must be sequelae. At that time, she must have calculated the posture of falling down accurately and also calculated that no one would doubt her injury. I sued Maisie for spreading rumors about me in high school and defaming me by inciting public opinion again now. The moment all the evidence was presented, the public opinion completely reversed. Maisie fabricated and spread fictional facts, constituting the crime of defamation, and was temporarily detained. I refused to reach a settlement and demanded that she make a public apology and compensate for mental damages. Before long, she became a joke for everyone after dinner. Everything she had done was exposed completely. Don't become a pawn in cyberbullying. Maisie's self-directed and self-acted drama has been completely overturned. Oh my God, what on earth is true? What a vicious woman. Obviously, she was the one who snatched someone else's husband. She's such a good actress. Why doesn't she go into acting? Miss Ariana is so pitiful. She has been slandered all the time. Ryan told me that Justin was not doing well. He drank every day, trying to escape from everything. After Maisie got out, she pestered him all day long without any dignity. Later, Justin came to me. I smelled the alcohol on him and made a cup of honey water for him. By this time, I had already adapted to the life of a blind person. Justin didn't take the water from me but suddenly hugged me in his arms. I was startled and pushed him away. See clearly who I am. Ariana, he said. I sneered, you should go to accompany your Miss Maisie. She must be in a very bad state now. Sorry, he said. I didn't know how to react. He didn't even say sorry to me when he fled from our wedding. He slumped down dejectedly and muttered to himself, I didn't expect that she would become like this. In the past, she was different from others. I said, she has always been this kind of person. You just didn't know it. He smiled self-mockingly. Ariana, I've never been with her. At first, when I finally met her again. But in my heart, I always felt that something was wrong. On the contrary, it's you who have always been disturbing my heart. This feeling is really hard to bear. It's like I've never been able to freely love anyone, always trapped in a dilemma. Obviously, back then, I could have loved her firmly. I loved her playing the piano for me and her recklessness for my sake. Even though I didn't know her name at that time, and hadn't even seen what she looked like. The cup in my hand fell to the ground, and my ears were buzzing. I knelt on the ground in a panic, and my hands groped to climb onto his arm. I couldn't stop trembling. What did you say? Justin lowered his head. He was clutching something in his hand. When I touched it, I suddenly felt familiar. It was a hairpin. The shape and the feel. It was the hairpin that Justin gave me back then and that I lost later. He hadn't noticed that something was wrong with me yet and just kept talking to himself. Later, I thought that I would never find her again. Until Maisie showed up. She was wearing the hairpin I gave her and told me things from the past. I left without saying goodbye back then. I've always owed her. The unexpected truth shattered the last line of defense in my heart. I bit my lip until it bled, but still couldn't hold back my tears that fell like rain. The person Justin loved in the past was me? Maisie stole my past, my hairpin, and my feelings and went to Justin's side. No wonder. At that time, Maisie would always imitate my preferences intentionally or unintentionally. Some people even said that when she wore a mask, her eyebrows and eyes looked a lot like mine. Justin mistook her for me and compensated Maisie for all the debts he owed me back then. But he hurt me deeply time and time again. Justin, how should I face you? Justin fell asleep at my home, but I sat by the window all night. When he woke up, he asked me a bit helplessly, why am I here? I replied to him, you drank too much last night and stayed here with me. Then, what about you? I remembered a lot of things. He waited quietly for me to continue. My fingers stroked the piano. Justin, do you want to hear me play the piano? I raised my hand and slowly played a melody. Justin's voice stopped abruptly. After I finished playing, I said to him, have you ever heard of Little Ariana? This song has the same name as mine. There was someone in the past who loved to hear me play this song the most. Something in Justin's hand fell to the ground. I thought it should be that hairpin. After a long while, he asked me in a trembling voice, who was that person? I said, that person's name is Justin. I loved him, but he left me behind and disappeared. I've never seen him again. I'll never see the Justin from that time again. Was it you? It was always you? He seemed to be in great pain. How could it be? Then Maisie. I took off my coat, exposing my bare back to him. There had always been a scar there, the wound I blocked for him back then. Justin, Maisie could steal my past, but she couldn't steal this scar. I heard Justin's difficult footsteps. He walked behind me, and his burning gaze fell on my back. His cold fingertips traced the scar. Then he wrapped a coat around me. Justin hugged me tightly in his arms as if he was going mad, and his hot tears fell on my shoulder. It's you. It was always you. 25. He was shaking all over, crying and laughing at the same time. I should have realized it earlier. Why didn't I notice? Ariana. Ariana. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm late. I won't leave you behind again, never again. It's too late. Justin, when you've been protecting Maisie all this time, I've thought of countless possibilities that you two were in love. But I never expected that you mistook her for me. Let's both calm down. After recognizing each other and knowing everything, I suddenly lost my obsession. When Ryan came, I was in a terrible mess. Turn around. Don't look at me. Ryan said softly, okay. I walked over and buried my face in his back, crying uncontrollably. I don't know how long it had been before he turned around and gently hugged me. When I had cried until I had no strength left, I said, Dr. Ryan, take me abroad. I'll go with you for treatment overseas. The farther away, the better. Justin, all this time, I've mistaken the person. Originally, I was supposed to take her home and marry her that day. No wonder I thought she was so special at that time. I wondered why she understood me so well. Back then, because of a sudden illness, I was sent abroad for recuperation. That's why I didn't have time to say goodbye to her and didn't wait for her to tell me her name. I was eagerly looking for evidence to prove the difficulties for my leaving without saying goodbye and to prove that I had always loved her. But how could I make up for the harm I did to her? I thoroughly investigated Maisie. We were in the same school in high school, and Maisie had done a lot of things like secretly framing others. Such a dark-hearted person, yet I was so blind that I was completely deceived by her. When she showed up in front of me again, she ridiculously said that I couldn't forget old feelings. Old feelings? I shook off her hand and watched her fall to the ground in a mess. What old feelings? Stolen old feelings? Maisie, when you were hiding in the corner and spying on me and Ariana back then, you started your shady calculations, right? Maisie's face instantly turned pale. Justin, what are you talking about? I wiped my hands clean. Don't call my name. It's too dirty. Maisie, you made me the stupidest person in the world. She hugged my leg. Is the past really that important? You must have liked me later too. Never liked you. I said, if I hadn't mistaken you for someone else, I wouldn't have even glanced at you in my whole life. I kicked her away and turned around to leave. Justin, if you leave me behind, I'll kill myself. Maisie climbed onto the window. I looked back. Really? She probably thought I would soften my heart. I knew you wouldn't. Falling from the 3rd floor might not kill you, but you can give it a try. She deserved to die, and so did I. But someone like her, how could she dare to die? Maisie, if your apology letter isn't sincere enough within 3 days, more of your shameless deeds will be exposed one after another. If you don't believe it, go back and check your mailbox. Those things can appear in your mailbox, and they can also appear elsewhere. Just like the posts you framed Ariana with before. Later, I waited outside Ariana's home for many days. Finally, her parents couldn't help telling me that she and Ryan had gone abroad for treatment. I couldn't get in touch with her, so I could only question Ryan crazily. Where did you take her? Tell me. Please. Tell her for me that Maisie will never bother her again. She can ask me to do whatever she wants. Ryan sighed. Ariana said that you shouldn't bother her anymore either. She also said that none of it matters anymore. None of it matters anymore. Neither do I. Yeah, she even lost her eyesight. What else would she care about? What on earth have I done? I made this girl, who once took knives and sticks for me and now went blind for me, never want to see me again. I started having nightmares every day. I dreamed of that wedding. Ariana was walking towards me gracefully in her wedding dress. In fact, I must have been moved at that time. But I could only experience in my dreams again and again the scene of me leaving Ariana and fleeing from the wedding. She was standing there alone, scared and with empty eyes and red eye sockets. Then she said to me despairingly, "Justin, I won't marry you anymore. Wish you freedom." Ending, Part 1. I went to the United States with Ryan, and Alaya came with us too. Alaya said that she just wanted to come here for fun. I knew that she was worried about me and was also afraid of hurting my pitiful self-esteem. Ryan said that my symptoms of depression had become more serious. Actually, I wasn't that sad. I just became absent-minded often and felt that the world had become as empty as what was in front of my eyes. I never heard anything about Justin again. When Ryan contacted him in private, he would avoid me. Maisie posted an apology statement online. Alaya excitedly relayed to me, "No way. It's still not sincere enough." I didn't sense any apology. She was just pretending to be pitiful all the time. Maisie posted an apology statement online. Alaya excitedly relayed to me, "No way. It's still not sincere enough." I didn't sense any apology. She was just pretending to be pitiful all. No wonder she's so dark-hearted. Her mother abandoned her after climbing up to a small boss back then. She really deserved it. And there's more. Maisie was blocked by reporters and was pelted with rotten eggs all the way by enthusiastic citizens. Ha ha ha. She was even hit by a car when she was running away. Now her leg is really broken. Ha ha ha. What goes around comes around. I don't know if Justin still. At this point, Alaya suddenly stopped talking. Seeing that I didn't react much, she coughed twice. Cough, cough. "I'll go and buy you a bottle of water." "Stay still, honey." As soon as Alaya walked away, my mobile phone accidentally fell to the ground. I crouched down and felt around on the ground for a while. A hand picked up the phone and handed it to me. "Thank you." I smiled. That person didn't say anything, but I sensed that he didn't leave for a while. I've met quite a few kind-hearted people abroad recently. I would always get some help inadvertently. They didn't care about my eyes. They just assumed that I was inconvenient and would take good care of me out of kindness. So I told Ryan that he didn't need to worry too much about my affairs. I could also live a good life on my own. He was a very good doctor and could go to help more people instead of spending too much energy on me. Ryan just gently touched my head and said, "You're different." Then he received a phone call, and I realized that it was something urgent. "Dr. Ryan, go and deal with your business first." He patted my hand with a troubled look. "Stay here quietly. I've already asked Alaya to come over." As soon as Ryan left, suddenly a strange man came to talk to me. "This beautiful lady, I've been observing you for a long time. Are you blind?" He spoke in a foreign language, and his tone made me a bit uncomfortable, so I pretended that I couldn't understand and ignored him. Who would have thought that the next second, he actually smiled and reached out to hold my hand. "Don't touch me." I backed away in a panic. "What a beautiful girl." "She's really blind," another person jeered. "Isn't it more interesting that she's blind?" Ha ha ha. This was the first time I had been so scared since I lost my sight. A shop assistant came forward to dissuade them but was directly cursed and driven away. I grasped my mobile phone and wanted to make a call, but the phone was quickly snatched away by them too. In a state of panic, a glass bottle suddenly smashed, making a loud noise. I was so scared that I crouched down on the ground. Damn it. Where did this Asian man come from? I couldn't hear clearly what was said later. All I knew was that someone fought with them. It was very chaotic. Besides the sounds of punches and kicks, there were also the curses and cries of pain from those people. It wasn't until someone called the police that those people scattered and fled. I calmed down my emotions a little. After asking the police, I learned that someone had saved me. It was a Chinese. The police brought me in front of him. "Sir, are you okay?" I asked worriedly. "I heard that you were injured." I reached out my hand and accidentally touched him. Hiss. Only then did he let out a cry of pain. Before that, he hadn't made a single sound. My heart suddenly started beating very fast. Until Alea ran over and hugged me. Ariana? What's wrong? Are you okay? Who is this? In the hospital, Ryan rushed over in a hurry. Ariana? What happened? Alea quietly told him, while you were away for a while, Ariana was in danger. It was Justin who saved her. Justin got injured in the fight and hasn't woken up yet. I sat blankly at the door of the operating room. Ryan hugged me. It's okay now. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left. I opened my mouth but didn't know what to say. But at this moment, suddenly I really wished that I could see. The bed moved, and I knew that Justin had woken up. But he still didn't say anything. Are you awake? I'll go and call the doctor. I stood up, and he grabbed my hand. I'm sorry. Why did he still say sorry to me? Was it because he was sorry that he hadn't hidden himself well and let me find out? I gently pulled my hand away. Justin, we're even. I saved you before, and you saved me now. You don't owe me anything anymore. He struggled to sit up. No. He fought several people by himself. His head was broken and stitched up, and one of his ribs was broken. Ariana, I won't bother you. Please don't drive me away. Even if it's always like this, as long as I can. I pressed his movements. Don't move around. The moment he woke up, I thought that I could forgive him. Forgive all the misunderstandings and debts between us. To become strangers to each other again like before we first met. Ryan said that Justin had been begging him and asking where I was. I asked, has he been hiding near me all the time? Ryan said yes. I smiled bitterly. Send him back. I have nothing to do with him anymore. Ending, Part 2. It rained for a long time continuously during the autumn in the United States. The sky was gloomy, which made people feel a bit gloomy too. Alea went back to China. She couldn't accompany me here all the time. Ryan has been busy recently. I was staying in the hospital and was taken care of by special personnel. One night, there was a thunderstorm. I had a nightmare. I couldn't tell what I dreamed about. I just remembered vaguely seeing a figure from the back and a beam of light, but I couldn't reach them no matter what. Unexplained sadness filled me. Suddenly, I wanted to call Ryan. After the call was connected, Ryan's voice sounded very tired. I'm sorry, Ariana. There have been a lot of things recently. I felt a bit more at ease. It's okay. I'm fine. You too, Ariana. He called my name again. His voice was heavy and hoarse. I waited quietly. After remaining silent for a while, he said gently, wait. I'll come to see you in a couple of days. I had insomnia all night after hanging up the phone. After daybreak, I called my parents. It took several attempts to get through. Ariana, we're all fine. You should cooperate well with Dr. Ryan. You'll definitely get better. Everything seemed normal. But why did I always feel a bit uneasy? A few days later, Ryan came to see me. He walked towards me quickly. Before I could react, he had already reached out and hugged me into his arms. His outer robe was full of the smell of disinfectant. I was a bit stunned, and my hands didn't know what to do. He let go of me and held my shoulders. His fingertips were a bit forceful. Ariana, there's a suitable cornea available for transplantation for your eyes. You'll be able to see again. My heart started beating very fast. To be able to see again? I didn't know how to react. I just reached out to touch Ryan's face. His voice sounded a bit strange. Sure enough, my fingers touched something wet. He was crying. Why are you crying? Ryan held my hand, trembling slightly. I'm happy for you. Why was this person so sentimental? Soon, I lay on the operating table. Ryan was the chief surgeon for my operation. He told me that when I opened my eyes again, I would be able to see him. After the operation, my eyes recovered well. After some time, I could finally open my eyes. My parents rushed over and were crying like babies in the ward. I reached out and waved my hand in front of my eyes. I saw a gentle figure not far away. I smiled and said, Dr. Ryan, I still can't see you very clearly. Hearing this, Ryan walked closer, crouched in front of me, and reached out to wipe away my tears. You can't cry yet. Come to think of it, this was the first time I saw Ryan. His appearance was just like his voice, gentle and elegant. He was really good looking. What? Did you think I was an old man with a beer belly and a bald head? Only then did I hold back my tears. My parents excitedly thanked Ryan. Dr. Ryan, thank you so much. Just tell us if there's anything we can do, and we'll never decline. Well, how about this? I'll betroth Ariana to you. I spat out the water I was drinking while chatting and joking with Alea. Mom, what are you talking about? My dad also chimed in, yes. Dr. Ryan wouldn't look down on our Ariana, would he? At this time, Alea also said in a strange tone, of course not. He's had a liking for her for a long time already. After some time, my eyes had fully recovered. My parents had accompanied me abroad for a long time, so I suggested that we go back to China together. Strangely enough, they didn't agree. No matter how I asked, they always avoided the topic. They kept saying that my life abroad was pretty good too. I couldn't fall asleep late that night. When I went to get some water, I found that the light in their room was still on. Alea was there too. Uncle and Auntie, we can't hide it any longer. Ariana will find out sooner or later. But not now. She just got her eyesight back. But she's asked me about the origin of the cornea more than once. What should we do then? Should we just tell her that it was Justin? I suddenly pushed the door open. What are you talking about? I booked the earliest flight back to China and went straight to Justin's home. All the way there, I kept telling myself that it couldn't be true. But I knocked on the door for a long time before the nanny came and told me, Madam has gone to the cemetery. It seemed that all my strength was drained away in an instant. It was the beginning of the snow season in China. Justin's mother was thinly dressed. I hadn't seen her for only half a year, but there were a lot more white hairs on her head. She took a look at me. There was no change in her expression. Justin, Ariana is here. It's so cold. I walked forward, saw the photo on the tombstone and the inscription. I reached out and touched the words one by one. The tomb of Justin. Enormous pain engulfed me. I couldn't hold on any longer and fainted in front of his tomb. In the darkness, I saw that figure again. Lonely and resolute. When I opened my eyes, Justin's mother was by my side. Don't move. Let me look at his eyes. Justin's eyes. I kept my eyes open, letting my tears pour out like a flood. Justin's mother hurriedly wiped my tears for me. Don't cry. Don't damage your eyes. These are the only things Justin left behind. Ryan rushed back. With red eyes, I grasped the corner of his clothes. Ryan, I don't want these eyes anymore. Can you bring him back? Only then did Ryan tell me everything. Justin. He originally had a heart disease. 3 months ago, when he was driving tired at night, his heart suddenly stopped beating, which led to a car accident. Although he was temporarily rescued, he was too seriously injured. Only his eyes were intact. In his last moments of consciousness, he strongly demanded, to give you his eyes. What happened later was known to everyone. When I was looking forward to the operation with all my heart, Justin's heart stopped beating forever. Finally, I knew the reason why Justin left without saying goodbye when he was 18. Later, in fact, he had also been looking for me for many years. I often went to visit Justin's mother. She would always look at me blankly and deeply, as if she could see the person she missed day and night through my eyes. She said, Ariana, after you left, Justin's heart went with you too. He was always absent-minded. When he was drunk, he always said how he hadn't found you earlier. But I'm his mother. How could I not know that even before he knew everything, as early as when he married you, he already had you in his heart? He just couldn't see clearly and made mistakes. Ariana, can you forgive him? Justin's mother, with tears in her eyes, gently brushed my eyebrows and eyes with her hands. The word forgive was what Justin had been obsessed with until his death. But after all, was it really all his fault? Justin, didn't you say that you would never leave me behind again? I promised you. Shall I play the piano for you? Did I really not love him and not blame him anymore? When I learned that he had mistaken me for Maisie, did I let it go, or was I even more shocked that he said he loved me? Now, all I can touch is the cold tombstone. Justin, if there's an afterlife, please don't mistake the person again. I'll be your eyes.